Can we please talk about the state of the UK job market right now? So tell me why, when I'm looking at applying for like medium, like easy jobs, so for example, like a barista, work at coffee shop, I looked at Blank Street. There's 5 stages to applying to Blank Street. They need an application form. There's like 3 interviews. Sorry, I didn't realise I was applying for fucking high 5. Like, what could you possibly need to interview me about 3 times?
Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Guys, you know, you have some people who constantly complain that all I do is work, and I never stop work. Well, how about those people who actually want to work, but they can't find the job in this here UK market? So I've got a number of clips where people are talking about the difficulties in finding jobs in the UK. Now, I never stopped to consider that because I have been in the UK for 24 years and I've only ever known 2 jobs and I've been constantly employed since I've been here. My first year was in the army and that just happened. And then I became a nurse. So I have never had any period of unemployment where I was searching for a job and couldn't find anything. But there are so many people out there who are struggling in the UK to find a job and having to go on benefits. And of course, some people want to be on benefits and some people actually do not want to work. But what about those who want to go to work and can't find the job? So let's just have a little listen at what people are going through and we'll have a chat in the comment section below.
It's not looking good, Brev. It's not looking good. The job market in the UK is finished. It's actually finished. It's getting worse. It's crazy how many people I've seen struggling to find a job. You know, we're talking people who have got masters, who've got PhDs, who've even got just normal degrees, applying for regular jobs, regular income, nothing special. And they're getting turned down. No reply, no email, no nothing. What is going on? Like, I understand that you're overqualified, but what does that really mean? What does that really come down to? Because you're either qualified and that means that you can do any job. If you're qualified, it means anything easier than that, you should be able to do and you can do. So what does it mean when it says you're overqualified? What kind of excuse is that? You know, you've got somebody who's got a great resume, a great CV, somebody who's got experience, who's got years of being doing something, and you reject them because they're overly qualified. What have we come down to? What is going on? So my piece of advice is to you guys who are in this situation right now, who are unemployed, who are applying for jobs, who are literally looking to start something, is apply to anything. Apply, just do it. You know what I mean? It's better than nothing. You might not be the job you want to do, but at least you have something. You have a source of income. You have regular money coming in. You have a job. You have be stable financially as well. So just do it. Go for it. Don't be worried. You know, and you might end up liking it. So stay positive and don't stop.
It is really an unfortunate situation when you say you go to university, you get all your qualifications and you think, okay, yes, I've done all that I'm expected to do. And now I'm going to apply for a job and it is going to be simple. No, I feel like since the pandemic, the UK has been on its knees where finding a job is concerned and it is not going to get any easier.
Do you know what actually really gets on my last nerves? These job applications, like, what the hell? I spend hours, I'm not even joking, hours on applications, on even just like one application, because apparently putting my CV isn't enough. They want more information. They want me to rewrite my education history. They want me to rewrite my employment history. I'm doing all of this. I'm rewriting cover letters like specific to your jobs. I'm changing my CV specific to your job role, and you don't even have the decency to respond to my application. Not even a rejection email, just pure ghosted. Like, at least if I get rejected, I know that you've probably not even seen it, but you've at least seen my name and that my application has come through and you've just rejected me. But to ghost me and not even give me a response, that shit hurts.
Why is it so hard to find a job in the UK right now? Oh my God. Bro, all I'm going to say is, yeah, if you have a job that pays you where you get regular shifts and all of that, please do not leave. Be grateful. Say Alhamdulillah. Because I promise you, there's people out there that would love to be in your position. As much as you might hate what you're doing, like you don't like the job, all of that stuff, bro, don't leave. Unless you've secured something else, then go. But other than that, bro, it is so hard to find a job. I promise you, there's guys that are applying for over 200 jobs. Nothing, bro. They're not even getting back to you. Nothing, bro. It's peak out here, bro. Please help me find a job.
How is everyone finding jobs? And more importantly, how are people finding jobs in a career that they weren't previously in without experience? Yet when I try and do the same, regardless if it's a job I've experienced in or something new, it's a rejection within the first 30 seconds. I applied for a job the other day and it was posted, I think, at the time said 50 minutes ago. And by that time, there'd already been 120 applicants. So it's getting to the point where you don't even have time to tailor your CV to that job, because by the time you've tailored your CV properly and sat and done it properly, there's going to be another 100, 200 people. And I saw a content creator on here basically saying that they're not even looking at CVs past the 100 applicants. So you need to literally see these jobs as they come up, apply for them in the first 30 seconds, or you don't even get a look in. I just want to sell pictures of my feet for like $3,000 a month. That's all I'm asking for. Oh, but I'm also asking for people to actually respond to you rather than just leaving you on red for 6 weeks and then responding saying, sorry, you were unsuccessful. Tell me in the first week or two.
See, I didn't even realize that people were getting ghosted in jobs. I did not know this. There are so many things that I don't know because I am actually not in the position, thankfully so. I am so grateful for the job that I've got. I have something to look forward to every day. I get paid and I'm okay. It just never occurred to me that people are out there. So many people are trying to get jobs and they simply cannot find a job. You get qualified, you do everything, and then there is no job for you to go to. And then for a lot of jobs, they're asking for experience. Now, how are you going to gain the experience if no one wants to employ you in the first place? That has always been something that I thought was just absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy. And I just don't see it getting any better anytime soon. But let's continue to listen.
So I spoke to a recruiter earlier today and they told me the job market in the UK is dry. As in they're barely getting jobs from organisations. And what they're finding is people are having to apply for roles that they know that they are overqualified for. So that's leaving people that are trying to get jobs at their level jobless, because ultimately the organisations are giving the jobs to people that are overqualified because to them it's better value for money. And it just had me looking in the direction of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship and thinking, you know what, fair enough. As crazy as the stats are around starting a business and the difficulties around that and how many fail, once you get to a certain point, you get out what you put in. You might be applying for 100 jobs in a week, and as much effort as you put in, there are 1,000,001 reasons why you might not get that job. Apart from that, in some jobs, there are no pathways for promotion upon exceeding your work or doing above and beyond what you're tasked to do. You have to apply for the job like any other Tom, Dick and Harry. No wonder you hear these terms like silent quitting or people actually resigning or saying they can't be up for 9 to 5s and things of that nature, because when do you actually see the rewards of your labour? On the whole, minus banking, I'm yet to meet a lot of people that are super enthusiastic about their job and how much they're getting paid and how everything is structured. Maybe it's time to put some energy in your passion and see where that takes you.
Can we just, talk about how difficult it is to get into the UK jobs market right now? Is it just me, or is it stupidly hard to get contracted employment? All my employment's agency anyway, so I don't normally have to worry about this, but as an experiment, I applied for a weekend job. I'm not going to name the shop, but it was just stacking some shelves, and the application process was ridiculous. Ridiculous. So you had to do 2 assessments, and one was the equivalent of a personality test that took half an hour to do, and the other one was some sort of situational test in which quite a few of the answers were quite similar anyway. And then that doesn't even get onto the application form, in which you have to write almost the equivalent of War and Peace. I mean, I got ChatGPT to do it, because it would have taken me over an hour to do. How is anyone employed? How is anybody in contracted employment? And that's just for stacking some shelves. Like, if it's a skilled role, I get that, but stacking some shelves and you're requiring all that should just be your CV. I'm sorry, guys, it should just be your CV for me. I saw something the other week in which the government's apparently bamboozled because there's 10 million people who are economically inactive. Yeah, I'm not surprised. If that's what it takes to get into employment, I'm not surprised. I mean, I understand for a skilled role. I mean, if you're going for like a director or something like that, yeah, but I mean, they call it low-skilled work. It's not low-skilled work. It's actually quite high-skilled work. But, you know, for low-skilled jobs like that, it should just be your CV. That's why all my employment's agency, because it's so much quicker and more efficient, and you don't need all this stuff. You really don't need all this stuff. Like, not being snobby, but I have a degree in business. Right? I've been studying business at university. I can teach you all about investing and cyclical trading, dip trading, social trading. I can teach you about the macroeconomic policy and where the price of Bitcoin is going. Yeah, no problem. But I can't do that. Like, even that, and it's not even just me. I know, like, career professionals, PhDs, and my friend's mother's even a lawyer, my uni friend's mother, and even she struggles. Apparently she can't get in either. I don't know, let me know in the comments if anybody's watching this, but for me it's just ridiculous to try and get into employment in the UK. It's stupidly hard.
And that's the one thing I can say. If you've got a job, guys, hold on to it. It doesn't matter if you hate it, unless you've got another option, unless there's a backup plan and one that is better than the one that you're doing now, hold on to the job that you've got. Because you see these people, these are not actors. They are actually people sharing their experiences on how difficult it is to find a job, even if you're qualified.
If you are looking for a job, the market is shit and it's not just you. When I tell you, I did not know. I did not know. If I knew then what I know now, oh my God, this recruitment process is on crack. Everyone that I'm interviewing for is really intense, and you know, there's so much ghosting. I've done an hour and a half interview, a presentation, heard nothing back. I actually today heard from a role that they put me to this role after the one that I applied for closed. I went through, I think, probably altogether about 3 hours worth of interviews, sent them so many follow-ups of information they asked for, to then be told today that they're not actually progressing that role, even though that's the role they put me in for after they closed the other role. This market, man, this market.
I think the state of the UK job market is absolutely insane. Like, I'm currently helping a few of my friends go through like some job applications, and what I'm seeing is so crazy. Like, we're talking jobs where they don't advertise salaries. We're talking jobs that they call junior entry level, but then you like click apply and then you see the job details where it's like you have advanced level Excel skills, and it's like, what is going on? And from a job applicant point of view, it's demoralizing, right? Because you apply to all these jobs and you get a ton of these rejections, and you're wondering like, what's wrong with me? You start to introspect, and a lot of the time it's not inherently what is wrong with you. Like, the reason for you not getting the job is not directly correlated with your skill or your lack of skill or knowledge. And it's like, on the other side of the coin, you've got certain industries that flourish, like the tech industry with Gen AI, blockchain, all of that coming up, and you have opportunities there. But I'll give you an example, right? So if you are an international student and you study something like architecture, right, the odds of you getting a job in architecture that sponsors you in the UK are extremely low. The jobs are there, but the odds of you getting that job extremely low. Like, I know friends and family that studied architecture, but they're now working in tech, because that is like, you can transfer your skills there, but actually finding a job that will keep you in this country, yeah. And all of this is just word of mouth and my like opinion, really. And then I decided to look into it, and there's an article, and literally it's titled like, applying for jobs in the UK market, or this job market is essentially like throwing myself at a wall. That's how someone describes it, which is accurate. Like, I've been there, like, and it's not good.
But there's things you can do to excel in like the current climate, and it's things that you may already be doing already, which is essentially for every application we've got GPT now. So for every application, alter your CV to match the application. Make sure the keywords are in there. Upskill wherever possible. So keep up with the trends. If everything is AI, then possibly get a certificate in AI. If everything is blockchain, if people are speaking about data analysis, probably look into that and see whether you can find maybe something you can transfer your current skills. And a lot of these things are not as hard as they were previously. And you've got tons of websites that help you. And once again, like I said, you've got Gen AI, things like ChatGPT, like Claude, like Gemini, that will literally spell it out to you how to potentially like make an application, how to answer certain questions that you see in applications. So I hope isn't lost. There is things you can do, but the job market is also insane as well. So we just have to kind of build a bridge between upskilling and navigating the job market to find opportunities, because there are still people that are getting jobs, and that could be you.
Right, I just want to talk about the UK job market for a minute. Why is it now that just ordinary working class people basically have to be Albert Einstein to get a job at your local Tesco? Honestly, have you seen the flipping requirements for jobs nowadays? It is absolutely mental. You load up any job search engine that you can find, type in the career of your choice, don't even bother reading the description of the job because it won't matter. All you need to do is go straight down to the requirements, and if you haven't got a degree, a bachelor's degree, master's degree, or whatever degree there is out there, don't bother. Now, I for one went to university myself, and I thought it was a complete and utter waste of time. I studied sport and exercise science in the hope of one day being a physiotherapist. I need to come out the other end and look for jobs in physiotherapy to find out I'll be paid £6 an hour on an apprenticeship wage. Now, unless you were born with a silver spoon up your ass and you've got a load of money behind you, how on earth is an everyday normal person meant to go to university when they've got themselves in so much debt to go then do a job on £6 an hour? So what I ended up doing is I ended up going into sales, so something completely irrelevant to the degree I actually studied for, just so I could get the money that I needed to survive in day-to-day life. And now what I'm seeing when I go to apply for other sales jobs, bearing in mind I've got 8 to 10 years worth of sales experience now, that they want you to have a bachelor's or master's degree in medical science, which is completely irrelevant to the job. It's lazy employment. Because you can't be asked to sift through a CV and actually find out the crooks and the actual, personality of said person who's actually applying for the job, you'd rather just go straight to the bottom of their CV and just see if they've got a degree. Now, I know some people are going to tell me that having a degree is a good sign of dedication. It means you'll stick at something. Obviously, that's a good sign for the employer who's looking to take you on. But there's 1,000,001 good employees that are just sitting at home who would be perfect for that job, and simply because they don't have a degree, they're going to be discounted. And then we wonder why the economy is broken. So for me to go get a different job in the sales field now, I'll need to go back to university to ideally complete a business degree, which is going to cost me the best part of 50, 60 grand, just to get a job in the same field I'm already in. Not to mention the basic salary will probably be 30 grand at best, with an OT of 60 to 70. And then once I start earning over 25 grand again, I'm going to start paying and all. Before long, you're going to need a bachelor's degree just to go pick shit up off the street. Or you're going to need a master's degree in hygiene just to go to a nursing home and clean some old arsehole. And just for you employers out there that are looking to employ a 21-year-old fresh out of university into a sales job, you clearly have never spoken to any 20 or 21-year-old now, because they've got a flipping personality of a plank. Honestly, it's like trying to draw blood from a talking to someone who's 20 and 21 years old. They're either high as a kite or complain that they're too tired anyway. And before you start crying, I know it's not all of you, so, calm down.
You know what? He sounds very frustrated, but he is talking some facts. It's true. You get yourself in debt, you get qualified, and then you leave university and you can't get a job in the field that you studied for. What is the point? And then you settle for some other job, and then to move up to the top of that job, then you've got to go back and get qualified again. It is absolute shambles and madness. I am so glad I'm not in a situation where I need to be applying for jobs. Thank you, Lord. I can't stop saying thank God for that. I am grateful for the job that I got, and I feel for people who actually want to work and cannot find a job that they're looking for. Now, there's going to be another video talking about the people who just absolutely don't want to work and are just happily living off benefits. That's for another day. But right now, let's continue to look at these stories.
This job searching thing, this job applying, wow. Today I got another application unsuccessful. And you know what hurts the most is that this was a job that I was thinking I'm a shoo-in. This is a job that I allowed myself to believe, wow, I could actually do this job. As in, I know I could do this job. I'm the best candidate for them. I didn't even get an interview. And that's not even me being cocky. That's not even me being cocky at all. Like, community youth engagement role. To not get an interview is crazy. And it's so disheartening. Like, this job landscape, unemployment landscape is wow. Wow. They say God only gives his battles to stronger soldiers. And apparently there are so many strong soldiers out there because we're all in battle. We're all in war right now. And the question is, when is it going to end? Like, I'm not going to lie, this one really, wow. This one really hit the heart. And it's sometimes that you feel silly for allowing yourself to believe or to envision yourself in a role when you're only just applying, you're only just going for the application, you haven't even got an interview yet. But you do, when you put yourself into a job application and like put effort into it and everything, you're like, wow, yes, this is me, this is a bit me. Only to be told no, actually, no. And then you just have to pick yourself up again and then do it again.
Yeah.
And then keep doing it again until somebody takes a chance on you.
Yeah.
Like, to not even be invited for an interview is crazy.
Yeah.
Is crazy. This this chapter of my life, wow. I know I said it like character destroying, but this is character crumbling. My character is being crumbled, and not apple crumble, no, dirt into the ground. And it's really hard because if you try and like pick yourself up and be like, oh, if that door closes, another one will open, or if that door wasn't for you, it's because it wasn't never for you and the right one will come. But there is pressure to have a door, any one just open, even a little bit, even just a little bit, because you can't live without a job. You can't live without work.
No.
You need it to survive. And right now, sometimes it feels like you're just existing, not even living, just existing. Wow. I allowed myself to feel hopeful for a moment. And look at where it got me. Oh my God. Anyway, this is day, 34 of my 100 days of Yap. I don't have a job, but I guess I still have Yap.
You know what? And she's laughing, but I can feel her pain. I can tell how disheartening it is for her. And this is why so many people are struggling with depression throughout the UK, because imagine living from day to day, applying for job after job after job, and just being ghosted, being rejected, not given a chance just because you haven't got this and you haven't got that experience and whatever. And so people are getting depressed, and the health services just under constant strain because everything is rolled into one and everything becomes a vicious cycle. And it's like there is no hope. It's like there's nothing to look forward to. It's like there's no optimism. There is no anything, And it's just like pressure piled on top of pressure on top of pressure and pressure. And how are people going to cope? How are people supposed to accept that this is life? Because remember, despite people not having jobs, bills don't stop. You still have to eat. You still have to wear clothes. You still have to maintain a roof over your head. How are people supposed to do all of this without a job? That is the question. And it is heartbreaking to listen to.
Does anybody else feel like they're getting absolutely nowhere with applying for jobs at the minute? It's just so tiring. I'm not hearing back from recruiters, from the companies. I'm not even getting rejection emails. I've had 3 in the past month that I've been unemployed, and I've applied for way more than 3 jobs, and I'm just not getting anything back. I've not had a single interview. Even a recruiter said to me that it's really difficult at the minute. There just isn't any jobs, and I'm just feeling really defeated and deflated, and I really honestly feel like I'm not gonna find anything anytime soon, and it's really getting me down, and I don't know what to do because I need money. I need a job, but I can't find anything, and I'm really stressed.
Exactly.
Great. Help me.
Everybody's looking for a job. There's so many people getting made redundant, people that just can't find jobs even though they're qualified. Like, everybody is struggling to find a job right now. Apparently even places like LinkedIn and all those kind of websites are even putting up fake job listings. It's honestly so sad and such a shame to see people spend so much time and money on uni to learn these skills to not even get a job in the field that they studied. Create your own opportunities. It takes about 2 to 5 people to start a startup, yeah? Of all the people in the world, of all the people who are also struggling to find jobs, you'll find 2 to 3 to 5 people who are in the same field as you, and you guys can just start your own corporation, startup, whatever. Someone will need your services, someone will need your skills, someone will need what you have to offer. So yeah, if these big companies are not trying to hire you guys, or if you're getting made redundant, or you just can't find a job at all, create your own. Create your own. And I know it's a lot easier said than done, but like, imagine everyone just dropped what field they're in at the bottom here, and you find like 2 to 3 or 5 people who are in a similar field, and you guys get together and just create your own thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, we all just need to start thinking outside of the box. So imagine someone who does marketing commented on here, and there's like 2 to 3 people, and then you guys start up like a marketing company, right? But then you guys don't really know how to push out your marketing company, but then you've got like 4 people who do sales who also commented under here. So then you hire the people to help you with the sales, to push your marketing out there, to sell what you're doing, sell your business, and then you guys obviously then get your clients. It's a win-win. And the other option is just look at jobs in other countries, guys. There's so many different opportunities out there. Don't be afraid to just take that leap and just fucking relocate and start something new. This makes a lot more sense in my head, but you guys get my drift. Just create opportunities at this point, because the world is a shambles. Your future self will thank you.
I genuinely, like I've been saying throughout this video, I genuinely think it's going to get worse. And you know why? Bots are taking over. Have you noticed that you cannot seem to speak to any human being in any organization that you try to call? It is the hardest thing to have a conversation with a human being. It's always click this for that, choose this option for that, choose this option for something else. And can I just speak to an agent? And you also speak to an agent, and it's like jumping through hoops. So people are being replaced with robots, you know. It's getting worse, guys. It's getting worse.
Because I got to speak on this, right? So basically, the job market is job marketing right now. But I was lucky enough while I was in Jamaica to get a job interview, right? Because my credentials, I'm not going to lie, they're quite strong. So I entered the interview, and they're telling me that the salary that they're offering is half of the salary I typically make. Half. Look. Life is lifing right now, but for a girl like me to be cut half of her typical salary is mad. It's mad. As you guys know, how often do I fly out? I can't be living on half. Like, poverty has to reach. Poverty. Like, no, I'm sorry, like, there's a lot of things I can do in life, but that I can't. Like, I'd rather, sometimes you realize, sometimes you really got to say, that is not my worth. That is not my worth. And you think I'm going to work how I work when I'm on high or low. It's not me. And then, to add, 5 days in the office. I'm a hybrid girl in a hybrid world. So I just know your worth. I know the job market is job market, and for me, yes, but I know my worth.
But not everyone has got that option, though. People are just willing to grab at anything that they can get at any time. Not everybody can say, yeah, I'm not accepting that. People have got different experiences. People have got different demands here, there, and everywhere. And people are sometimes just tired of being unemployed. So the first opportunity that they get, they are going to take it. I understand her perspective. She knows her worth, she said. She knows what she used to make and what she's willing to accept or to reject. That's her. Not everybody is in the same boat, but let's just carry on because this is depressing.
No, who's actually taking the jobs? Who's actually taking the jobs in this industry? Who's actually taking the jobs? Who? Because when I go on social media, all I'm saying is decline. I've been declined. I've been declined. I've never once heard someone say, "Oh yeah, I've got my new job," and I started. Who's taking these jobs? You see, I think there's bots. There's bots behind the job market. There has to be bots. Because why is it so hard to get a job? I've literally done, as I said, I've literally done the job. I literally know how to start shop and have the customers. What is else? I worked in the team. I've done all what needs to be done. Why is it so hard? I have even more experience than most of the people that work in Tesco. No offense. That work in Asda. That work in even the stadiums. I've done that. So why are you declining me? Not trying to brag. Yeah. But I'm just letting you know that in the job market, yeah, even if you have the qualifications, they'll still decline you, and this is the problem. Apply for the job. You apply for me, please. The next time someone says this, apply for me, please, because clearly.
So since June of 2023, jobs in the UK or employers advertising jobs has been falling off a cliff. So we are a shrinking economy, no one is hiring. We're at the same level as when we were going into COVID at the start. So It's a really, really low level, or just as COVID was still happening and there was still lockdown, just to put it in perspective. Now, these are the sectors with the most growth. So everything else that I don't mention is shrinking. So the main one that's growing at 26.5% is delivery drivers and delivery operatives. Wellness and fitness is 6%. Property and estates are 4%. Primary school teachers, care workers is at 6% growth. So these are actually the sectors that are growing. Sports coaches, security guards, funny enough, registered children's nurses, I know all about that. And everything else, elementary storage occupants, I don't know what that is. Cleaners are up 2%. Everything else has shrunk in terms of sector. And some of these shrinking are like 7-8%. And that means that solicitors and lawyers is down 11%. Software engineers, 7%. Hairdressers and barbers, 9%. I won't bore you with everything, but accountants is at 9.8%. So unless something happens, and don't forget, November, December's figures aren't really out. It goes up to October, August. So we're probably going to see a part where most companies would be hiring for the Christmas time. We're not seeing that. So unless the only good news is everyone is pushing their hiring into next year, could be the only bit that will start to, and we're going to blame the Labour government for their policies in reality, and that's what I think is going to happen. It's made hiring not worth it actually, and more expensive. And with the economy shrinking, it's a lose-lose. Growth is stunted. We're going to see what we're going to do and move on from there.
UK job market. The UK job market right now, because it's absolutely making zero sense. Tell me why. I went to the final round for an interview at a bank that I genuinely really liked, and next thing you know, they told me to hire somebody else, and I'm like, well, why? Did the other guy have more experience? And the guy tells me no, it was just luck. Oh, we really liked you, did perfect. It was just luck. I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? But that's the thing, like, I can't even complain. That's just life. What do they say? Rejection is redirection or whatever? Oh, I don't even know anymore. It's just so much BS. And I think it feels really reassuring to know that I'm not the only one who's going through this. And there's literally no other way around it. I just got to keep applying. I've applied to 136 jobs ever since Monday, ever since I've got that rejection. I don't know, it just feels nice to know that I'm not the only one who's going through this, but please let me know what I'm doing wrong, guys, because I did a lot of interview prep. I smashed it. But I think that's just the UK job market right now. But yeah, man, we just got to keep it.
I made a viral video last year about the state of the job market and how broken it is. Now I'm back on the job hunt again, and it's somehow gotten worse. Let's just run through it. Ghosting is the norm. You spend hours crafting your CV, writing perfect cover letters, tailoring it to the job, only to hear nothing back. Not even a thanks, but no thanks, nothing. You hear nothing back. Pay has regressed. I'm seeing positions asking for 5 years experience in creative and management work that is paying less than I was earning in my junior position 2 years ago. And remote jobs, don't even get me fucking started. That's just the norm now. Apparently that now means remote, but only within commuting distance of an overpriced office in London. At that point, why not just say we're looking for somebody in London and stop wasting everybody's time? I don't get it. Then you've got the culture fit bullshit. Companies keep asking for people who can hit the ground running, wear many hats and bring their whole self to work, but they're paying you peanuts and expecting miracles. They usually have a we're a family vibe, and then you're the unpaid intern cousin that never even gets invited to the family dinner. And look, I am able-bodied, I'm neurotypical, and I'm relatively privileged. And if I'm finding this job hunt hard, I cannot possibly imagine what it must be like for someone with chronic illness, mobility issues, or any disability under the sun. It is bleak out here. I've got friends telling me that they've applied for over 100 jobs in a month and heard nothing back, not even a whisper. They haven't even had an update on the section on Indeed that gives you an update status. Nothing. This isn't even a job hunt anymore, it's just like a hope-crushing lottery. On the last video, I got a lot of hatred saying that I wasn't trying hard enough, or I was overqualified, or I was underqualified for certain jobs, and it was truly soul-crushing because these people said it isn't hard to get a job, and yet they are comfortable in their positions, or they're 16 and they don't need to. And it was just truly mind-blowing that so little people in this country and in the comments of that video had empathy for anybody going through that struggle. So yeah, I'm documenting the process again. And hopefully together we'll feel slightly less insane about our job hunt. So if you're out there too, applying, scrolling, refreshing inboxes, you are not alone. Drop a comment, vent, commiserate, because this system is broken, and until it changes, at least we're in this together.
Hey everyone there in the UK, this is Darren here. I was made redundant just about a month ago after just about 6.5 years of working for the company I was with. Came unexpectedly, unfortunately, but I suppose that's life really. But of course, now searching for jobs and everything, it's not easy to do. I've been applying even just before I got made redundant, and there's nothing there. I've had a few rejections, but now I've gone to the job centre here in the UK, and if anybody's gone down this route, they realise and know how rubbish the system is in the UK. You get about £90 a week for job seekers allowance, which is a laugh really. How you're supposed to pay your mortgage, food, take care of your kids, and be there for the family. It's just a joke. And of course, they want everything from you, ID, proof of address, everything like that. And then, of course, then the next thing is then universal credit. So, I was named as a director of a company that my wife has. And, we're not paying ourselves anything, but, I've got an appointment coming up for universal credit. And not only do they want proof of ID, they want, all records of, the books for the business and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, hello, we don't get any wages from it, they just seem to want so much information from you and pay you pennies, just pennies. I was in Germany years ago, and I was unemployed there. Now in Germany, they actually pay back then 80% of your previous wage per month, which is amazing. And not only that, they actually paid for me to do a complete university IT course, in system integration. So I know the difference in the worlds, how things are. You don't want to come to the UK if you're looking at, just being able to, live off any benefits. I know a lot of people do live off benefits, but I can't believe, how they actually manage. Definitely, we as a family wouldn't be able to manage. So if anybody out there hears this, looking for somebody who's got over 10 years IT experience, predominantly in mobile device management, so VMware Workspace ONE, or anything like Premier Services, server support, etc. I'm the man. I'm looking for a bloody job. Find it. If you got one out there for me, let me know in the comments. I'll respond to you. Cheers.
Guys, I thought it was very important that I included this man's clip just because I wanted people to identify that it's not just young people leaving schools and universities who are looking for jobs. It's people who have had their jobs for many, many years, have been made redundant. Life changes happen, people, and it's just difficult all round. And I can appreciate everybody's take on everything. People are trying and it's just like they're not getting anywhere. I can see depression rates increasing. I can see poverty increasing among people. And whew, guys, I don't know. I have never even given much thought to this because I've never been in this situation. And I sometimes wonder how come people are so comfortable to sit on benefits. But I suppose if you're trying to search for a job and you're not finding a job that you want, or you're finding a job that's going to pay you way less than what you can live on, sometimes it might be easier to just stay on benefits, and that's why people choose it. I mean, some people are lazy and they just don't care. But I can also see, on the other hand, why people will be thinking, yeah, I'm not going to kill myself because I'm not going to find a job that will pay me enough. So why not just allow the government to take care of me? But let's have a discussion in the comment section below, and I'll see you again in my next one. Bye.